He nearly died for his country 2 weeks ago during a dangerous middle-of-the-night raid in the West Bank city of Jenin, searching for a group of terrorists who were planning attacks on Israel. The IDF soldier was shot several times during a firefight with Palestinians, including a bullet straight to the face that shattered his lower left jaw. The 34-year-old soldier is known only as Captain Dalit. He's been in intensive care ever since. This weekend, doctors in Haifa's Rambam Hospital used special 3D technology to rebuild his jaw and face. The surgery was successful, with doctors saying the face should make a full recovery with the exception of some scarring. In many facial reconstruction surgeries, one side is damaged, one side remains healthy, and it's used as a guide during surgery. But both sides of Captain Dalit's face were badly injured, so doctors had to create a special 3D printed model to prepare for this complex surgery. With us now is Professor Adi Rachmiel, who is the director of Rambam Hospital's Oral and Facial Surgery Department. Doctor, thank you so much for being with me. Talk to me about the surgery. Was it a complicated surgery to pull off?
Hello, nice to be with you. So we received the soldier with a comminuted fracture. It was a complex comminuted fracture of the lower jaw. So using the CT, we analyzed the fractures, and all the planning was of the treatment you can see here was on the screen. And on the screen, using a software, we regenerate the jaw and correct the jaw. We perform all the reduction of the fractures and create the jaw. And from the CT, we perform also a three-dimensional model. And on this model, we create a patient-specific implants, plates for the correction. And then,
Professor, tell me why was this necessary? This 3D printed out model. Why did you need this 3D technology in this case?
The traditional method was that you open the fracture and you plate it. You perform the reduction. In this technology, we perform all the reduction on the screen with the software. And then we built a new mandible, the new regenerated mandible. On this regenerated mandible, we create the new plates. So we enter to the operation with the plates that were adapted before. We print the plates and they were adapted on this model. And we came to the operation room. It's a more faster operation, more safe operation, and more accurate operation if you come with prepared plates. And we just adapt them on the fracture, you can see here on the screen, and fix them. So it's
Professor, how long of a surgery was this, and do you expect a full recovery?
Yes, the operation was about 2 hours and a half. We can see on the screen nice reduction of the bone, good continuity, and this is due to the accurate patient-specific implants that were inserted during the operation. So there is good reduction, and the healing will be in a few weeks. He will have a nice healing of the bone.
That's incredible. Such a miraculous result here. Professor, I want to ask about bullet injuries in general. I mean, if someone, God forbid, but gets shot through the hand or through the arm, I mean, there's an entry wound, there's an exit wound. It may be a localized injury, but when there's a bullet to the face, I mean, how many more fractures and breaks and how many more risks are there when you involve, gunfire to the face or the jaw?
The anatomy of the face is very complicated. We have the jaws, and we have the eyes, and we have the brain, and a lot of blood vessels. This soldier was lucky because the injury was on the bone, on the mandible, on the lower jaw. So he was lucky. So we appreciate all the damage, and we corrected on the screen and we using the software, and the operation was very good. But sometimes you may have injury of the orbits, the eye globe, or the brain, so the results are more severe.
Yeah. Professor, I'm so happy that this soldier, this IDF hero, is expected to make a full recovery, that the surgery was a success. Professor, thank you so much for the work that you are doing at Rambam and for giving us some insight into this patient here on I-24 News.
Okay, thank you. It was my pleasure to present this. Thank you.
Bye-bye.